There is a concerted effort by a bunch of degenerate perverts in our society that want to put their hands on your children. Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Rita. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a wonderful Independence Day and you ate lots of steak and burgers and brats and all that good stuff. Let's get into this today. So we are going to be talking about our society's absolute obsession with tearing down natural healthy boundaries between children and adults. And why are they doing this? Why are they tearing down boundaries? Let's get into it. So as you know, last month was the Rainbow Coalition month. And by Rainbow Coalition, I am not talking about Jesse Jackson. As you know, I am talking about the Alphabet Mafia Rainbow. Every year, these parades seem to be getting more and more horrifying. So when these parades started out back in the 70s, I believe.
Also, I think there should have been a United States flag at the beginning of the parade, which I didn't see. But I think the people were very well behaved, very well mannered, and I think the police respected us.
But not today. Not in 2024. So Savannah Hernandez, who is a reporter, went to one of these parades in San Francisco. And what she found out at these parades was that there were children there.
Okay, I feel physically ill after spending the day at San Francisco Pride. Now, I've been to quite a few Pride events, but this one was by far the most disturbing, and it was because there were nudists there that were fully erect in front of children.
There were children there, and not only were there children there, but they were parents or whoever had them there seemed to have them right in the front where they could see everything. And what's the everything that they saw? Well, they saw men touching each other. They saw men doing other things with each other that I can't really talk about on YouTube, nor do I want to. But they were out in the open, naked, doing things to one another. Children were privy, their poor eyes seared by this degeneracy. So then, why, oh why, would somebody like our president promote this type of behavior, have these people at the White House flashing everyone on the White House lawn? Why are there some politicians and other activist groups who are promoting MAPS? Why are they promoting minor attracted persons?
Completely unfamiliar with child dolls. So I had, of course, to Google it last night. I was a little scared to put it in my search engine, but I did. And apparently there is research on the subject. Not much, but there are what they call MAPS, minor attracted persons. And the limited amount of research that's done on these dolls, guys, suggests that they actually, for people who are attracted to minors, that these dolls actually decrease their proclivity to go out and attack children, that it actually gives them a release.
Why are they bent on talking about ageism and saying there's no reason, no difference between a 12-year-old and a 20-year-old? Surely a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old or whatever age, even some cases 6-year-old, surely they know if they want to be a boy or a girl. Yesterday they wanted to be a dinosaur, but apparently today they want to be a boy or a girl. And, we should just trust them and believe them. Why is there seem to be such a concerted effort to push children into adulthood? I'll tell you why, because there are a lot of perverts out there who would like to get their hands on children, your children. So now, with that said, there has been, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there has been an epidemic of female teachers who have been touching children, more than touching, who have been doing things with school children.
She was accused of rape, and then she allegedly admitted she's pregnant with a former student's baby. Now, this ex-elementary school teacher is slammed with nearly 24 charges in a new indictment. Prosecutors say she sexually assaulted as many as 21 children.
So the reason I call this an epidemic is because while this has happened, I'm not saying female teachers doing inappropriate things with students has never happened in the past. Of course it has, but it was not even close to this scale. We had one lady who was all over the news, I think in the early 90s, who had done this, got pregnant by a student, and it was everywhere, and everybody was in complete and total shock. Now it seems I am seeing a news report every week of teachers all across this country, Black, white, Hispanic, doesn't matter, ethnicity, doesn't matter, all of them doing things with their young students, male and female. So I do believe that the breakdown of healthy boundaries started a long time ago. I honestly think it started when teachers were encouraged not to have their students call them Miss Smith or whatever, and call them instead by their first names. Because I feel like after that, you started to see teachers starting to feel more, teachers and students both feeling a lot more comfortable about their teachers. When I was in school, the teacher was like some alien that if you saw your teacher outside of school, you didn't even know what to do. It was such a foreign concept to see the teacher even as like a normal person. It was such an authority figure, and it was that's the teacher, Miss Smith. Like that was that. You did not know a whole lot about Miss Smith, and what you did know may have be something like Miss Smith went on a family vacation with her kids and whatever, her kids and husband. That's all you might have known about Miss Smith. Today, teachers are talking to their students about sex. They are, and I have to spell because it's YouTube. Teachers are talking to their students about pronoun usage.
I'm going to share more positive interactions with the preschool age kids I work with. For context, I'm a trans person who does not pass as the gender they identify with. Yesterday, one of the other staff came up to me and she was talking to me and then started talking to the kids about me, and she used she, her pronouns for me. And one of the kids interrupted her and went, he's a boy.
And gender and transitioning and drag queens. So am I surprised to see that there is a huge epidemic of female teachers now trying to set up foursomes with students?
Two teachers from Wisconsin are out of a job, and they could face criminal charges after they're accused of messaging a student to arrange a foursome.
Am I surprised by this behavior? No, because I think it started way back when some perverts decided that they wanted to start breaking down the healthy boundaries between children and adults. And we are seeing it all over our society. We are seeing it everywhere. And it is frightening and disgusting and horrible. And like I always say, if you can get your kids out of school, get them out. Because this lady here that I'm going to play a clip of, she was molesting her student during school hours multiple times. And my question is, where were all the other teachers?
A Texas middle school teacher was put behind bars on allegations she repeatedly had sex with one of her students. A 13-year-old tells, including Ruyan had sexual intercourse and sexual contact with the boy on a dozen occasions, even during school hours.
Where were all the other teachers? In one instance, you have a teacher who had other students acting as lookouts while she molested some of her students. So when I tell you that there is a push to break down break down the boundaries, the healthy boundaries that students and adults are supposed to have, there is a concerted effort by a bunch of degenerate perverts in our society that want to put their hands on your children, and they will do it. They will try and implement it even through legislation. Because you've heard, we've talked on this channel before about MAPS, right? Minor attracted persons. They're trying to make people who are, this word I'm putting up on the screen, trying to make them a part of the protected class. This group is trying to be added to the Rainbow Coalition's flag. because they want to be seen as something special and not harmful, even though they absolutely are harmful because they want to touch people's children. So, but I've heard legislators be really soft on them. In fact, in California, a bunch of activists and Democrats stood up to push back against a bill that would create harsher penalties for people who mess with children.
We believe that SB 1414 takes an overly punitive approach that fails to address the root causes of these issues and will not effectively stop sexual violence. We are particularly concerned that the harsher penalties proposed in this bill will disproportionately impact marginalized communities, especially members of the LGBTQ community, who already suffer from systematic biases within the criminal justice system.
These people do not want to punish people for touching children, which should give you more of an idea of how some of our elected officials and others in this society actually think of children. We already know they don't really care about children. You have people in this society pushing for late term, you know what, procedures. They do not care about children. You might notice the smile here. This is a smile of sarcasm, and I'm smiling to keep from raging out because, this is horrifying to think that we live in a society that is trying so hard to tear down the healthy boundaries between children and adults. Obviously, there is a concerted effort to abuse and mistreat and in a lot of ways destroy children. So let me know you guys' thoughts about all this stuff, about the Rainbow Coalition parades, about the women teachers now becoming a thing of touching children. And we talked about this before on this channel, right? There's something else I want to talk about too about the women teachers, along with just the perversion of everything, right? Society at large and feminism, this modern day feminism has eroded away what the idea of womanhood is, what the idea of motherhood is, and what it means to nurture. And I do believe there's something about this where these women have rejected, by and large, whether subconscious by the culture or whatever the case may be, they have rejected their natural instincts to nurture and protect and care for children. And instead, it has become perverted, and now they are piranhas and predators of children. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao. God bless.